Hey, what's happening, people? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a wonderful day, beautiful day. I hope that everybody's doing well. And I'm just checking a couple of things to see what's popping, what's going on, real quick before we get into this. All righty. So, y'all have to excuse me. I'm a little excited tonight. And I'm just checking a couple of things to make sure that we're live in the places that we're supposed to be. Because, see, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're also on, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. That's where we're at. But we're broadcasting on multiple channels on those. So there we are. Wherever you're watching me from, thank y'all very much. We got a note from Baby Sis saying that she will not be attending the show tonight, so she has been excused. So, man, I'm just excited, and I'm trying to contain my excitement. Hey, Miss Nanette, how you doing? Yeah, glad to see you. Hey, Miss Marion, thank you for stopping in. And those of y'all back there lurking out there in the back, say hi, say something. You ain't got to stay for the whole show, but just let me know you popped in, dropped in. Okay. Hey, Miss Coley, good to see you as well. Like I say, it's been a great and fabulous, wonderful week. Been busy. I had no shows this past week. I went out and installed a stripper pole in my daughter's house. That was interesting. Hey, Miss Charlotte. Hey, brother August. Good to see you. Yeah, as a daddy, I'm supposed to keep my daughter off the pole, and here I am installing. No, but she uses it for exercise, so that's pretty cool. Hey, Kim. Good to see you as well, guys. Just so I know a lot of y'all already seen the Facebook post and everything, and over there on LinkedIn, and I thank y'all for all the love that you guys shared and showed me and everything. I'm just happy to say I am cancer free. Yeah, I'm not bill free, man. The medical bills don't play, but but I'm here, and I'm very glad to be here. Y'all be sure and like, love, share the message. Miss Coley, thank you for sharing it like 18 times a day. Wow, you really put it out there for us. But tonight, guys, and let me reintroduce myself. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness. I'm Vernon Longhorn Davis, and I appreciate you spending time with me tonight. I do. Tonight's message is personal, and I'm probably going to get emotional. I'm just letting you know up front. So if you cry easy, you might want to get some tissue. But tonight's message is personal, not halfway personal, not polished, perfect, personal, but real personal. The title is I Kept Showing Up. And I wanted to do this message because I know I'm not the only person who has ever had life hit hard while folks around them kept acting like everything should still run on schedule. A lot of people know what it feels like to smile in public while carrying something heavy in private. A whole lot of people know what it feels like to keep going when your mind, heart, your body, your money is under pressure. So even though this is my story tonight, I already know it's going to touch somebody else's story too. So, over the last 2 years, I've been on the cancer journey. That journey came with medicine, radiation, appointments, waiting, uncertainty, and all the mental weight that show up when a doctor tells you something you never wanted to hear connected to your name. I never thought it would be me. I remember when the doctor gave us the results, and I thank God I was not standing there alone. Miss Nanette was with me. She was right there by my side when the doctor gave me the news. That mattered more than I can explain to y'all because there are some moments in life you do not need to face by yourself. There are some moments where you just have to have the right person standing next to you, and that changes how the weight hits. I didn't miss a beat. I looked at the doctor and asked him, I said, "Hey, man, okay, so what's up? What's the next steps and when do we get started?" That was, "Hey, Rita, good to see you." That was my question to him. Now, on the outside, that sounded strong, and I guess it was. It sounded like I was focused. I was, but inside I was doing Okay. So, all right, guys. I'm broadcasting from my phone because my internet went out in the middle of the show. So, if you're there, come on back in. Are y'all still there? Let me know if you're still there. Yeah, we got some storms going through St. Louis, so that's not really cool. Okay, so y'all got me. All right, good, good, good. So, all right, well, let's get back to where I left off at. Let's see. Let's see. Where did I, because I got frustrated. Okay, you guys are there. Okay, yeah, I'm back. All right, so let's go back to, okay. Thank y'all for hanging in there with me. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties, so thank y'all. But anyway, where I'm gonna pick up at is when I got the news, there were people depending on me. Hey, Brad, good to see you. Hey, Elizabeth. There were people who were dependent on me. There were people who I loved, and people who loved me, and there was still purpose on my life and in my life. There was work I still needed to do. Jokes I hadn't told yet, laughter I hadn't brought yet. I still needed to share in life. I still needed to live. So instead of asking why me, I asked what's next. That was not because I was fearless, because I wasn't fearless. Hey, daughter. Hey, Basil. That was because I had already decided fear was not going to be in charge. That is one of the first things I want to say tonight. A lot of people think courage means you're not afraid. I don't believe that. I think courage is making a move while fear is still in the room. That's what I believe courage is. Courage is saying, I hear you, but you're not driving. Courage is understanding that uncertainty may be present, but it does not get to call every shot in your life. It doesn't. And some of us need that reminder right now because we have been waiting to feel perfectly okay before we move forward. Life does not always work like that. Sometimes all you get is a diagnosis, a hard truth, a next step, a decision about whether you are going to keep living or start surrendering in your mind before the fight is even over. There's another part of this story I cannot leave out tonight, and I'm gonna get to you, Jerry, but I want to tell this part. And truthfully, I don't want to leave this part out. My baby brother Ronald, y'all have heard me talk about my brother Ronald. He passed away from cancer almost a year to the date of my diagnosis. Yeah, I miss him. I miss him terribly. I miss him in the kind of ways that does not ask permission. I think about him. I still feel the weight of that loss. And while I hate that he is gone, and that's not a word that I use, but I hate that he's gone, I also have to tell the truth. His situation made me look closer at mine. It made me pay attention. It made me move with more urgency and intention. And if I'm being real, his situation probably saved my life. That is not an easy thing to say because that truth carries both grief and gratitude at the same time, but both are real. I miss my brother, and I believe his journey helped me see mine differently. Sometimes the people we lose keep speaking after they're gone. Sometimes their story becomes the warning, the wake up call, or the mirror that keeps us from missing what we need to see. Sometimes it opens our eyes. So Jerry says, I am so happy you are cancer free. Thank you, sir. A true blessing from God. You are such a positive influence on so many. God knew we needed you, but God knew I needed y'all too. So thank you for that. Um, So when my diagnosis came, I didn't have the luxury of pretending this was small. I had seen enough to know better. My grandmother died from breast cancer. My great grandmother died buttoning up my shirt from a heart attack. My mother passed away from 2 strokes and 2 heart attacks. My best friend cutting teeth. I can go down the list. I've seen too much. I had felt enough to know better. I knew I needed to lean into this. I needed to pay attention. And I knew I needed to fight, not just for me, but for we. And while I was fighting, I kept showing up. I kept speaking. I kept doing comedy, going to work. I didn't miss one day of work. Um, I didn't. I kept doing what I had been called to do. And no, that is not me bragging. I'm not trying to sound like some superhuman machine. I'm telling you the truth because a lot of times people only see your output and have no idea what your life is asking you to carry while you are producing it. They don't. They see you dressed up and think you must be fine. They hear you laugh and think, oh, life must be light. They see you working and think, oh, you must not be struggling. That is not always how this works. Sometimes people are showing up with pain in their pocket. They got fear in their chest, bills on their mind, grief in their heart, and a prayer holding the whole damn thing together. A prayer in duct tape. And if you have ever had to do that, then you already know this. You already know this message. This message is not just about cancer. It's about what it means to keep your life moving while life itself is trying to put you in park. August, I hear you, man. You said never give up. Jerry, you say the voices of the lost are never silenced. No, they're not. Annette, who I know is a cancer survivor, says stay safe with brother. My father is standing beside me. Glad you are cancer free. Thank you very much. Thank you, Annette. Jacob, thanks for joining us tonight, man. He says perspective is power, simplifying the simple. Don't give in to give up. I'm glad you are cancer free as fellow fighter in cancer and still fighting it. Have say we are still here for something God only knows. Well, man, I didn't know you had cancer, but I'm praying for you, man. And the messages in the mass and his family will add you to our prayer list. Show up and show out. The ripple touches everyone. Many blessings to you and many blessings to you too, Jacob. Uh, Kim says you can't give up. You have to keep going. You're right. You can't give up. Onyx, my friend Onyx, man, I miss y'all shows. You and Miss don't beat me up, but I miss y'all shows, man. He said, "Hey brother, good to see you. Blessed, favored, and healed." Yes, sir, I am. So let's Tommy boy from Scotland. Lots of love from Scotland, my friend. Lots of love for you too, man. So let me tell you something else, y'all. One of the hardest parts of a serious battle is that life does not automatically pause just because you get bad or hard news. The bills still come, the responsibilities still show up. The people who depend on you still depend on you. Deadlines don't suddenly stop because and become compassionate. They give no dams. In the middle of this cancer journey, I lost my job. I lost my life, my health insurance. Now, the battle is not just about health. Now it's about money, stability, access. My doctors wouldn't see me because I didn't have health insurance. You talking about a scared puppy. I was very, very, very concerned there. Now, It's not a it is about what happens when life is hitting more than one area at the same time. It's hard. And that kind of pressure will make you find what is really under your feet. It'll let you find out what's under your feet for real. Who's in your corner? Who's standing beside you? And I did have some friends that did step up and help me. And I am internally grateful. I had people pray for me. That is where faith, hope, and love stopped being pretty words and became necessary. They became very necessary. I needed faith because I needed something bigger than my fear. I needed hope because I needed to believe there was still more ahead of me than what was in front of me right then. I needed love because love is greater than faith and hope. And I needed love because love became fuel. Hey, Roger, good to see you. Hey, Christian, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I needed that. I needed that fuel. Love from my for and from my family, from the people who checked on me, prayed for me, encouraged me, and reminded me I was not carrying this by myself. And let me add this to it, y'all. I had faith in my God. I know I don't do politics and religion, but I'm not going to deny my God. I had faith in God, but I also thank God for who he placed beside me. Miss Nanette went to every doctor's appointment with me, every x-ray, the whole 9 yards. She was standing there with me when I got the news. And that news was not a small thing. That was love in that room. That was strength standing beside me. That was God reminding me, even in my hard moment, that I was not alone. There are seasons where positive talk is not enough. You need roots. You need something that can hold you when your emotions are moving around, when your money is acting funny, your body is under pressure, and your future feels uncertain. That is where I was at, people. And I know I'm not the only one that's been there. And that reason, and the reason I can say that clearly now is because I lived it. I did not know. But you don't know till you get to the other side. Jerry says your foundation never moved. It was strong. Yes, it was. Brad Cook says 1,000 miles an hour, 1,000 miles an hour all day, every day. It may not be healthy, but it's just how some of us are built. We will help the world despite all the battles we fight daily. That is very true. Oh, you said Liz sent you. All right. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. Roger said, you have a wonderful woman by your side. Yes, I am blessed, sir. Annette says, my brother showed up for my cancer. My husband was told to go to the waiting area. Well, we've talked about that. One of the things that helped me keep the right mindset came from my friend Ethel. She sent me a video one day, and in that video, there was a line that hit me exactly where it needed. The line was, I'm not dying from this. I'm living with it. I should have had it put on a shirt. I probably should have called it. I should have probably called this message that tonight. But when I heard that, something clicked because words matter. How you talk to yourself, how you frame what you are facing does matter. How you it 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 does. And our self-talk, we've talked about self-talk. Sometimes our self-talk is worse than what people say to us in the outside. If all I told myself was that cancer had shown up, then fear was going to start. It was going to start writing the rest of the script. If all I focused on was what could go wrong, then I was going to start shrinking before the fight had even had a chance to play out. But that line gave me a different way to carry it. I'm not dying from this, I'm just living with it. And as long as I'm living with it, I'm still living. I'm still here, just like a lot of you. That meant I was still going to speak, go to work, go make these jokes. I was still going to lead. I'm still going to write these books. I'm going to love. And I'm still going to trust my God. That line did not erase the seriousness of my situation. It did not remove the treatments. It did not cancel the waiting, but it changed the posture I brought into the process. And sometimes changing your posture changes your outcome. When you go from this to this, it can change a whole hell of a lot. Jacob says, "Love and faith with capital letters says it loud. When I was told I had terminal cancer in 2024, that is only two things when doctors say I wouldn't make it to 2025 and then said they were happy I was here in 2026. God have something. Amen. Faith over fear. Preach it. So grateful we both are still here. Share it, man. Grateful and blessed. You truly look deeper at things when you're living again." This is a side note for my message. I got the news on Monday, no, Tuesday, on my phone. And I read it. I read it again. And then I ran it through Chat GTP just to make sure I was reading it right. Then I handed my phone to Miss Nanette so she could read it. And I cried. I cried like a baby. And she said, "You crying?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm crying, and I don't care. I'm crying. These are tears of joy." I felt 2 inches taller and 50 pounds lighter. So yeah, Jacob, you're right. When you're living again, I felt and I feel like I am living again. And yes, August, living in spite of it. Now, now man, I probably cried all week. Last couple of days I've been all right. But I just every time I would just say it, it would just do something to me. It made me smile. I smile so much you see my candy bar teeth that are missing. Now I need to stop right there, and I need to stop right here and say something directly to somebody. Stop talking to yourself like the hard thing in front of you has already won. Yeah. Stop introducing yourself by your struggle. Stop letting fear narrate your future. Stop acting like because you got heavy, your purpose packed up and left. No, no. You are still here. You are still you. And as long as you are still here, there is still something left. I didn't introduce myself as, "Hi, I'm Vernon. I have cancer." I introduced myself as, "Hi, I'm Vernon. I'm here to do what needs to be done." Hi, I'm Vernon. I'm here to do what you call me to do. Hi, I'm Vernon. I'm here to solve this problem. Cancer is just something that I had. It's not who I am. My condition was not who I am. What you are going through is real, but it's not all of who you are. What showed up in your life may have changed your routine, your comfort, your plans, or your energy, but it does not get to rename you. Hey, cuz, I love you too. Good to see you, my cousin Brenda. Man, that's my girl right there. Best poet in North America. I was not about to become cancer. I'm Vernon. That's who I am. I'm Longhorn. That's who I am. I am the son of Shirley, the husband of Nanette, the father, the daddy of Vernon the third, Vernicia, Amy, Tarek. I am the grandfather of 15. I am the great grandfather of 4. I am not cancer, and I will not become cancer. I was not about to become fear. I was not about to become uncertainty. I am still Vernon, still Longhorn, still a husband, father, grandfather. I am a speaker, comedian, friend. I am a man of faith. Still, I am somebody with purpose. Still, somebody with life in him. Still, somebody with something left to give. And some of you need to reclaim the same things tonight. You are not your situation. You're not. You have been talking like the setbacks is your full identity. It's not. You have been acting like the diagnosis, the divorce, the grief, the breakup, the layoff, the heartbreaks, the disappointments, like it gets to become your whole name. It doesn't. It is not yours to own. It does not. It may be part of your chapter, but it is not the whole book. Hey, Miss Brown, this is one reason I respect people who keep showing up while carrying something nobody can see. Not loud about it, not putting on a show about it, not asking for applause every 5 minutes. They just keep getting up, loving their people, handling their business, walking in the room, saying their prayers, doing the right things, and refusing to disappear on themselves. That, my friends, is strength. Not fake strength, not performance strength, real strength. Real strength. And I want to say this to those people tonight. Give yourself some credit, real credit. Give yourself credit for what you have carried without losing your heart. Give yourself some credit. Stop whooping your own ass. Stop beating yourself up. Give yourself credit for what you have survived without becoming bitter. Give yourself credit for getting up when life gave you every reason to set your ass down or to lay down or to stay in the bed. When life has given you every reason to give up on yourself. Give yourself credit for not doing that because that counts. Now, let me be honest. I'm trying to slow down so I don't get emotional. Um, Type something in the chat. Let me know you guys are still with me. I know I'm going a little long tonight. And if you're okay with that, let me know. Just type something in the chat, say it's all right, or keep going. So let me be honest about the 90 days of radiation treatment, because that piece matters too. My job insisted that I take off. Truthfully, I wanted to keep working while I was taking radiation. I was worried about the money. I was worried about the money I was missing. That was real. That was real. Anybody with responsibilities understands that. Missing income is not some little side issue. When you have bills, obligations, people depending on you, that is real pressure. But God provided. When I look back on it now, taking those 90 days was the best move. The pause I did not want turned out to be the very thing I needed. Thank y'all. What felt like interruption was actually protection. What felt like delay was actually care. And the time I was thinking about the money, the momentum, and what stepping away was going to cost me, God was thinking bigger than that. God was making room for healing. That taught me something else. Rest is not the same as quitting. Taking care of yourself is not weakness. Honoring what healing requires is not giving up. Too many people think showing up only means pushing hard. No, it's not that. Sometimes showing up means going to treatment. Sometimes it means sitting down and letting your body catch up with your pride. I'm sorry, catch up with what your pride is trying to outrun. Sometimes showing up means admitting this is bigger than your schedule. This is bigger than your job, and you need to handle it right away. You know what that's called? That's called wisdom. Thank y'all for telling me to keep going. Yeah, and that cancer is expensive. Um, Christian says, so thankful for what you're saying and will do whatever I can to help magnify and amplify your voice. Look forward to talking and being part of your community. You are welcome, Christian. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you being here, y'all. We appreciate you, man. So I think some of us have to stop glorifying exhaustion. Thanks, August. I appreciate that. Not asking for your money, man. I think some of us have to stop glorifying exhaustion like it's a badge of honor. Being run down is not the goal. Um, hey, daughter, good to see you. I got two daughters in here tonight and my son. Okay. So being run down is not the goal. Pretending you do not need help is not maturity. Pushing until you break is not strength. It's not a badge of honor. Wisdom knows when to press, and wisdom knows when to pause. And sometimes I admit it, I did not have that wisdom about me. If you know me, then you understand me. And you know I go. Boy, do I go. And I go hard. But I had to learn this wisdom. I had to learn to pause. I did not like the pause at first, but I thank God for it now. That is another reason this message matters to me. I know what it is like to encourage people while needing encouragement yourself. Yeah, I tucked a lot in, y'all. I'm like, okay, we're not going to get into that. I know what it's like to make people laugh while carrying something serious in the background. I know what it's like to stand in purpose while life is asking hard questions. And I know I am not the only one. I'm not the first, I'm not the last. But I'm willing to share this with you and hopefully help you. So Christian says that's why God put a Sabbath, and instead we stop and spend it with him. There you go. Insist that we stop and spend there. Amen. Hey, Lawanda, good to see you. There are people watching tonight carrying health issues and still going to work. Oh, thank you, Lawanda. I appreciate that. There are people carrying grief and still carrying, taking care of everybody else. There are people carrying financial pressure and still trying to keep their house steady. There are people carrying heartbreak and still showing up with professionalism and dignity. There are people carrying pain nobody can see and doing everything they can not to fall apart in public. So, if that's you, hear me. Hear me well. Do not overlook the power of continuing. Everybody wants the breakthrough. Everybody wants the testimony after the storm is past. Everybody wants the victory picture. But there is something holy about the middle. There is something powerful about the process. There is something worth respecting about the person who has not crossed the finish line yet, but refuses to leave the race. And that might be you. A whole lot of life gets lived right there in the middle. And that is where I lived for a while, in that middle, in the middle of treatment, in the middle of waiting, the uncertainty, in the middle of faith and hope and grief over missing my brother Ronald, in the middle of concerns over money, in the middle of watching God provide, in the middle of laughter, work, purpose, prayer, and the love of the right people standing with me. In the middle of all of that, I kept showing up. And I need you to keep showing up. And tonight, that is what I want somebody to hear. Your testimony may not be flashy, but it's still powerful. Your testimony may be simple. Your testimony may simply be that life hit you hard and you did not disappear on yourself. Your testimony may be that you kept getting up. Keep believing. Keep handling what you need to be handling. Keep loving your people. Keep trusting God while the answers took its time. That counts. It really does count. So, whatever you are facing right now, do not let trouble introduce you. Do not let fear narrate your future. Do not let one diagnosis, one setback, one loss, or one hard season convince you that your story is finished, because it's not. It's not finished. And as long as you are here, there is still something left, still purpose, still breath, still love, still possibilities. still life. That is why I kept showing up. And that is why you need to keep showing up. I kept showing up because I had to. I had too much to live for. You got too much to live for. I kept showing up because people were dependent on me. I kept showing up because purpose does not disappear just because life gets difficult. I kept showing up because my faith would not let me lie down in defeat. I showed up because hope kept whispering that there was more ahead. I kept showing up because love reminded me I was not in this fight alone. I kept showing up because I made up my mind that this is something I was going to live with, not die from. And that goes for you too. It goes for you too. You don't get to just not show up. You need to show up. Get off your pity pot. Get up and show up. So I'm sorry, y'all was talking to me. Um, let's see. James August Day, he's still cooking for folks. Okay. Annette says, I have 5 homeless vets today. We really need to give them a step up. Amen. Onyx says, your testimony isn't about you. It's to encourage someone who needs to know God can do the same for them. Keep sharing, my friend and my brother. Thank you. Thank you, Onyx. Man, I appreciate you stopping by. Annette says, you do so much for so many. Thank you very much. Thank you. Jacob says, friend of mine said it best during my journey. Pacing on porch is not as good as pausing and taking a seat to enjoy sunrise or sunset, and that is worth moments. So take it and be healthy, so you can go back in your house healthy, filled with sunshine of God's grace. That stuck with me. I've enjoyed more sunrises and sunset, and tell people more people and tell more people so anxious now. I just say to them, just breathe. There is more in moments, so just take it in. Keep going, keep preaching it, man. People have purpose and need to hear it. Amen. Show up and show out. That's right, Jacob. You're absolutely right. Lawanda says, receive, trust the process. Don't. The only way to stay in the fight is to keep swinging. You're absolutely right. I'm not trying to preach, Lawanda. I'm just trying to teach. Jerry says your story may save someone's life without you ever knowing. That may be true. You're right, Lawanda. Find your inner Job and keep moving. Annette says, I'm crying. It hit home. Cancer is a freaking journey. Yes, it is. You're right, Kim. Take one day at a time. Um, so I'm gonna close here, guys. Let me close with this because this is probably the longest show we've ever done. You do not have to. Oh, that's right. I had a few minutes in there of trying to find some internet. So I'm on my phone. I hope this is coming through well. You do not have to be unafraid to move forward. You don't. You do not have to have all the answers before you take the next step. You do not have to wait for perfect conditions to keep living. Move while scared if you have to. Pray while uncertain if you have to. Heal slowly. Rest when you need to. Ask for help when you need to. Even cry when you need to. But don't disappear on yourself. Do not abandon yourself in the middle of a hard chapter. Don't let the pain have the final word. Do not let fear become the boss of your life, the master of your life. Because sometimes the testimony is not that life was easy. Sometimes the testimony is not that you were never afraid. Sometimes the testimony is not that you handled every moment perfectly. Sometimes the testimony is this: cancer showed up, grief showed up, fear showed up, money got funny, life got heavy. But I kept showing up too, as you should keep showing up. And this is my message tonight. Thank you for spending this time with me tonight. Brad, thank you very much. I know this was very personal, but I want to thank everybody that loved me and prayed for me and thought of me. And there's a wristband that I wear that says one day at a time. I don't leave the house without it on. Whatever you're going through, you got to handle it one day at a time. And you just got to keep showing up. So, again, thank you for spending this time with me. This has been Messages in the Madness. I am Vernon Longhorn Davis. And as I say every week, I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Respect yourself. Love them kids. Give them a hug for me. Respect our vets. And until next Sunday, God bless y'all. $2.